Greetings, everyone. We're just going to have a little bit of a conversation here with Dr. Linda Saunders, our new Provost and Chief Academic Officer. So, Linda, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background and your experiences.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much. These last few months have been really a dream come true for my passions and visions. And so, a little bit about myself. I was raised in a Christian home.
Mhm.
From the onset, I always had missions in my heart and mind. My mother tells me that I was a researcher from the start and that I always wanted to earn a PhD. So I do know that education and mission have always been my passions. So met my husband at Purdue.
Mhm.
Fast forward, we spent 15 years in Venezuela as career missionaries. It was in Venezuela where, when we saw sort of the handwriting on the wall for not being able to stay there, that we said, okay, how do we make this transition and still continue to do our passion? And then I need to begin to increase more of my education, and I earned some more master degrees and a PhD. And then Venezuela sort of closed their doors to us.
Mhm.
Don't put a question mark where God has put a period. And that resonated with me to the point I said, okay, well, if God is closing the door to Venezuela, surely he's opening a door somewhere else.
Mhm.
And I went on to become a professor at Liberty University in Venezuela, though we worked with street children and we did a holistic ministry. So not just the family piece, but the education piece, the work piece. So the ministry owned a 65-acre farm where we taught the Venezuelans to plant seed and to look for growth and the harvest in return. We founded a school that is still going on today, an academy. And so that's sort of where I got my strengthened my academic administrative skills.
But, j- share with us, what is it that drew you to WCIU? Now, of course, you did serve on the board, and so you got to know WCIU in one way, but clearly there was something that you know that tugged at your heart,
Mhm.
if I might use that word, that phrase, to lead you to consider this position and applying for it.
And in prayer one morning, the Lord said, if the provost position becomes available, I want you to apply for it.
Mm.
It wasn't on my radar at all. I love teaching. I love being in the classroom. So I had done much of the provost role in the academy that we started at in Venezuela, but it stateside, I was very happy
Mm.
being in the classroom and teaching. So I wrestled with God for about 3 weeks, and it it felt like for months I had butterflies about the whole thing. I was like, "Lord, what are you doing?" But I always trust God, um, and I know His voice. That's the one thing I'm confident in. I know His voice, so I knew God had spoken to me. But even as I went through the interviewing process, I was I was a wreck. I was a wreck just about the whole piece of it. However, the more I researched WCIU, the more excited I got about the position. And so by the time you called to offer me the position, I was completely excited about stepping into such a role. And I see, even from the beginning, sitting on the board, I see WCIU as what I say is a sleeping giant. That's
Mhm.
and sleeping giants need to be awakened, at least this one. So I just became really excited about the
Mhm.
possibilities,
Mhm.
and the possibilities of the mission and vision of WCIU aligns with my mission and vision as far as reaching the world for Christ.
Right. And of course, WCIU's particular focus is on holistic engagement in communities, the whole gospel for the whole person and whole communities. Uh, I imagine your experience for both you and Mark, your experience in Venezuela sort of cemented that whole approach and the passion for holistic engagement. Uh, and and that might just, that seems to be just a great fit for what you bring and what WCIU is all about.
Yeah. So we went to Venezuela knowing that our purpose was to build schools and create communities for street children. And we always said we wanted to do a holistic approach because you have to reach the whole person. And it's hard, it's difficult for a person to hear about Christ if their stomach is gurgling and they're hungry or they're destitute.
Sure.
So we said, okay, let's go in. We led by relationship. So the first community that we went into, before we started a service, before we led a Bible study, before we did anything for about 9 months, we just went every week and sat in the homes of the people and sort of the incarnational ministry that Jesus himself portrays or demonstrated. So that WCIU is like it impersonates everything. It embodies what I just what resonates within my spirit for reaching the world with the gospel. And for years, for decades, I've always said, I want to know Jesus and I want to make him known. And this is just another avenue to make Jesus known throughout the nations.
Yeah. Well, it, it's it's always amazing when someone's passion and vision is aligned so well with i- the institution that they serve in, and so you know excited really to have you here for us.
Yeah. So I consider myself a scholar practitioner. WCIU is already doing the vision that I guess I'm here at this moment in time to just push forward. Our programs, the programs that I see, including new programs that I'm envisioning, um, are programs that align perfectly with our reach into creating a verdant, flourishing world. Um, and for example, our trauma healing certificate that we're actually in the process of getting accredited. Um, the entire globe is in need of trauma healing, um, and everything that is associated with that counseling piece of um, reaching communities with healing as that hope. The Global Health Institute, now led by Dr. Dan O'Neill. He's creating 4 certificates and a master's program that speaks directly to that holistic piece of reaching into the holistic person, the health and the healing. The programs that are already in existence, the Masters in Developmental Studies and the Masters of Urban Transformational Leadership, they all speak to that reaching the whole person so that they can be a whole person who reaches the community and in turn reaches the world and the nations for Christ. So WCIU, we're already on that trajectory.
Right.
I'm excited to work with you and with the executive leadership team and the university in general. And I'm just looking forward to seeing where God is taking us in this new era of WCIU.